we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. If we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
What's going on, you guys? It's Eric and Mike with the Anabolic Aliens. We're here to talk to you today about marijuana and metabolism.
So this is a question that's not necessarily asked a lot, but we got asked it, so we did some research, went into multiple studies, and found out some facts. So just making this clear, we're not promoting marijuana use or any drug use whatsoever. We're simply just giving you guys facts about what we found out, and so Eric's going to start it off.
Alright, so here are some facts about marijuana and your metabolism. First of all, you have a lower BMI, generally. You have lower body fat percentage, and you also have lower fasting insulin levels.
So these are facts that we actually discovered as we were researching, so they're associated with marijuana use, and they've actually contributed to the facts that obesity rates among marijuana users are 1/3 lower than non-marijuana users, and waistlines are up to 1.5 inches smaller for marijuana use.
And it also leads to better carbohydrate metabolism, so that can mean your glycogen storage, or when your body is rapidly uptaking carbohydrates and breaking them down for energy. So that has to do with the hormone ghrelin, which will activate the hunger hormone, and basically it helps break down the carbohydrates.
So due to these facts, it's actually contributed to marijuana use, making you less likely to develop type 2 diabetes. And now, this being said, the body actually, when you're high under the influence of marijuana, you still process food the normal way you would if you were not. So the body processes are the same, but the actual effects on the metabolism are different. And also, that being said, marijuana users on average eat 600 more calories per day than non-marijuana users. So that makes this science very tricky about actual effects of the metabolism, because marijuana users are also showing the facts that their waistlines are smaller and obesity rates are lower. So why are they consuming more calories, but the facts are having the obesity rates lower and all that?
And it could be related to many things, but another random fact we can throw in there is the fact that people have lower LDL levels, which is bad cholesterol, and higher HDL, which is the good cholesterol for your body. So, some interesting stuff.
So I'm going to get more into the actual concept behind the body, the brain, and what the metabolism actually results from the marijuana use, and more of the actual cell receptors and science stuff. So let's get into that. Alright, so I normally talk pretty fast, so I'll try to keep this as slow as possible as I get into the more science aspect behind the marijuana use and our metabolisms. So first off, I want to explain the endocannabinoid system, which is a network of cell receptors in our brain and body, and it's the major reason behind our appetites. Now, when we're hungry, an endocannabinoid called anandamide is released, and when you use marijuana, it's replaced by THC. So the THC, it overactivates CB1 receptors in our brain, which actually makes you store fat, more fat than normal, and which makes you crave fatty foods. So how do all those facts make sense? You take in two substances from marijuana use, and that's THC and cannabinoids. Now the cannabinoids, specifically the CBD, deactivates the CB1 receptors and have been proven to reduce fat buildup inside arteries. Therefore, THC revs up our metabolism and makes us more hungry, while the CBD cannabinoid actually mitigates the metabolic dysregulation. So all this being said, basically, the THC and the cannabinoids, they're counteracting each other. And the UK is actually developing a cannabis-derived diabetes drug, because it's been proven that frequent marijuana users over time on average have been less likely to develop the type 2 diabetes, and this is the cannabinoid, specifically the CBD. So they've been taking the CBD specifically and injecting it into specific trials to form a drug that's actually going to help with diabetes. So with all that being said, it's important to also understand that there are different strands of marijuana. It really depends on where the plant, what actually is derived from the plant. Some are higher in THC, which is going to give you more of those negative effects, meaning you're going to be storing more fat per se, or you're going to be more hungry. And the cannabinoid deactivation of that CB1 receptor in your brain is going to be less significant, where there are some strands that are much higher in cannabinoids, so the deactivation of that CB1 receptor, storing more fat, is going to be very significant, so you're not going to be storing as much fat, which means there's going to be much less fat buildup inside those arteries, which is a very high contributing factor to that less likelihood to developing this type 2 diabetes.
So with all the things we just said about marijuana, its benefits on specifically marijuana and metabolism, there are also a lot lot of negative effects, obviously, with marijuana. So number one would be, the cancer rates, the damage it does to your lungs, all the things associated with that, being pure laziness, being out of it. It's illegal to operate any sort of machinery, such as vehicles, under the influence of marijuana. So there's a lot of things we don't say, and we wanted to just bring to light something that's being researched. There's not a ton of research on it, but the stuff we've showed you is from a few studies that we found that proved to be very interesting, and we just want to share with you guys. So let us know what you think in the comments below. Do you want to see more videos on random stuff like this? And if you have any suggestions that we could do, just plop them right down there, and we'll be sure to answer you like we do in all our comments. So
AnabolicAliens.com, online coaching coming soon.
Very soon, hopefully. No, it will be. It will be. Peace. About 12 to 15 reps, so we're moving on to straight arm pull down. Again, keep your chest up during this movement. All you want to do is tighten your arms, and I like to put my thumbs over the top. All we're doing